Bolt fam, take a deep breath, because today brings a reveal that could change the tone of the season. 3 behind-the-scenes moves and 1 gutsy on-field decision could redraw our path in the coming weeks. There's a major shakeup in protection for our franchise QB, a familiar face in a new jersey, a test our headman demanded, and a Los Angeles showdown that will take the true pulse. Want to know how each piece moves on the board, who gains ground, and who needs answers now? You won't believe what we've got today. So settle in, hit that like button, and let's dive straight into the news. Breathe, Bolt Nation, because the chessboard flipped fast. The headline that rattled the whole building: Slater, our all-pro and freshly crowned as the highest-paid left tackle in the league, tore his patellar tendon and is out for 2025. It hurts just to say it. The offensive line, which had been building chemistry, lost its pillar right as the countdown to the Brazil opener hits the home stretch. And when the foundation shakes, the question is unavoidable. How do you protect Justin Herbert and keep the plan intact? And there's more. The calendar won't wait, and every rep has to be dialed in, so the offense keeps its identity and aggression without exposing itself. The first response was quick and bold. Joe Alt, last year's first-round pick, slides to the left side. This isn't an experiment. It's a vote of confidence in the kid's talent, footwork, and line IQ. Trey Pipkins locks down the right, and the idea is clear. Keep continuity, limit unnecessary reshuffles, and give Herbert clean windows. One detail changes everything, though: real game rhythm. Without Slater, every snap becomes a protection chess match. Slide calls, chip help from the tight end, and there's a name that sets off the siren: Cameron Fleming. A veteran with 118 games, rings in New England, meaningful snaps in Dallas, the Giants, and the Broncos. He isn't Slater, no one is, but he can be the bridge from shock to stability. Simple equation. Experience turns into situational protection. Patience turns into sustained drives. If Fleming signs, Harbaugh gains the flexibility to rotate sets, mix wide zone with dual pullers, and shrink edge rushers' impact with first window quick throws. Now think about the domino effect. Without the all-pro LT, opponents smell blood and bring more simulated pressures, B-gap overloads, late twists. How do we answer? You speed up the pre-snap process, vary snap cadence, and use motion to declare coverage. Harbaugh's offensive staff has to wrap calls in under-center play action to freeze linebackers and open the middle for our receivers. And when the defense respects the play action, the pass. And the Cardinals in all this, they're watching closely and already tweaking the plan. A young front seven with speed off the edge, disguised blitzes to stress communication on our left side. If we meet on the schedule, they'll try to force Alt into recovery mode, attacking inside out and creating long third downs. That's why it's crucial to establish the run early, win 5 yards on first down, and drain the venom from the exotic looks. With tosses outside the edge's reach, well-timed screens, and surgical draws, and then there's the fans. The stadium feels it when the OL imposes its will. One clean first quarter changes the energy, gives rookies confidence, and quiets the vultures. Herbert wants rhythm, wants to feel a real pass rush, and that only happens with coordinated protection. If Alt holds up and Fleming arrives to steady the room, the season doesn't derail, it hardens. And that wasn't even the most surprising part of the day. And while the dust hasn't even settled up front, another domino piece fell. A new chapter in the quarterback room. That almost folklore-level bond between Easton Stick and the Chargers years as the third option finally ended. The new regime still rolled the dice on him in 2024, after that tough sample when Herbert went down in 2023. But the preseason was unforgiving. Stalled progressions, late reads to the flat, floating balls. The result? The front office hit the brakes and, at the 11th hour, brought in Taylor Heineke to back up, while Stick found a new home. The question everyone asked, and fairly, is, what actually changes for us? First, the fan base can breathe. With a veteran who survived firestorms, managed 2-minute drills, and converted third and shorts with arm and legs, Plan B stops being cross your fingers and becomes something workable. With Heineke, you can build a defined RPO package, a high-tempo no-huddle, and simple calls that protect the football and keep the chains moving. Not genius, just functionality that holds the line when the storm hits. And when defenses start respecting the quick game, the field opens for under-center play action and Herbert's intermediate strikes. Tactically, the gains are clear. Heineke gives life to crossers, attacks the intermediate window with conviction, and extends plays just long enough for screens and checkdowns to turn into extra yards. That eases pressure on a patched line and fits Harbaugh's ethos: win ugly if you must, just win. It also creates room for a quiet zone read look, punishing aggressive edges and cooling off the blitz. It's the kind of blueprint that keeps things afloat if Herbert takes a few extra hits, while Alt and Pipkins lock in sync on both edges. And Stick? He landed in Atlanta, a peculiar setup. third in line behind Kirk Cousins and rookie Michael Penix Jr. In his first chance, he relived some ghosts with a pick six straight out of a blooper reel, a pump fake that invited the defender, then a late throw to the flat. It reminded everyone why the partnership had run its course. To be fair, he's helped off the field by nudging the Falcons toward signing DJ Chark Jr., but the NFL measures production, not likability. The backup bar in Los Angeles just rose. Real impact on our season? Absolutely. The scout team improves, the red zone reps get more realistic, and the staff can calibrate calls with renewed confidence. Roster-wise, the noise drops, less friendship politics, more meritocracy. Cap-wise, a mid-cost veteran gives flexibility to plug holes in critical spots as fall rolls in and opens a slot to develop a young player elsewhere. And the Cardinals in this equation, they see that even without Herbert, the drop-off isn't a cliff. That changes the blitz calculus. They can't just send the house every snap. They'll need disguise, amoeba fronts, and mugged A-gaps to take away the first read and force off-platform throws. If we cross paths, we'll answer with heavy motion, under-center play action, and tempo to gas the pass rush. And that still wasn't the most shocking twist. There's also a big boy decision at the wheel of the offense. Justin Herbert asked for it, and will play in the preseason for the first time in his career. This isn't a photo op, it's purpose. After canceling the joint practice with the Rams because of a rash of injuries, our QB1 wanted a real pass rush, real snap noise, a collapsing pocket, and reads under fire. It's calculated courage with a direct message. 2025 is not a wait-and-see year. It's a set-the-pace from August year. What does it actually change? Timing, footwork to eyes synchronization, cadence with the new line configuration. Joe Alt at left, Pipkins at right. 2 or 3 drives are gold when you need to sync terminology with receivers and tight ends, adjust route depth, and test protections with chips and slides. The staff can call quick game and under-center play action to warm up his eyes, take a temperature check on the rush, and accelerate red zone chemistry that's oscillated. Herbert wants first window looks at. Is there risk? Always. And this is where fans hold their breath. Mitigation lives in the plan. Get the ball out fast, move the pocket with half rolls, use hard counts to steal 5 free yards, and cap the exposure. In that frame, every snap is a lab. See how Alt handles twists, how the running back escorts off the edge blitz, and how the offense answers disguises you never see in a closed practice. It's Harbaugh culture taking shape. Compete, calibrate, correct without and psychological gain matters. The locker room sees the leader put himself out there to build rhythm with his guys. The fan base feels a commitment to execution, not complacency. And yes, it sends a message to the entire AFC. We're revving the engine early. Guess who else hears it? The Cardinals. Because if Herbert stacks real August tape with protection tweaks and tightened timing, their game plan has to shorten windows, disguise coverage late, and erase the first read with one extra detail shifts the math on the season. Quality reps now can unlock red zone efficiency, where 1-inch perfect throw becomes 6 points. With shorter drives, patience on checkdowns, and calls that alternate inside zone and toss, you force linebackers to hesitate and create lanes for the passing game to breathe. If the plan translates, the touchdown tally starts smiling on us, and the narrative flips from caution to confidence. But hold on, because if a nasty hit comes, the protocol is clear. Protect, shut it down, and save it for the international opener. The goal here is not an August result. It's solving questions, communication, hot reads, and who earns third down snaps. Visible progress today prevents collapse tomorrow, and that wasn't even the wildest part. Wait till you see what's next.
The stage shifts back to Los Angeles, and it feels like a final, even in the preseason. Chargers and Rams hit SoFi Stadium unbeaten, each with its own storyline, but Herbert's August debut steals the spotlight. Since 2020, he hasn't given fans this preseason sight, and now, under Harbaugh, the promise is 1 or 2 series for the starting offense. Short? Not really. It's enough to take the pulse, sync execution, and stress test protection against a physical front. Picture the impact. Fans walk in knowing this isn't just a tune-up. It's a rare chance to watch Herbert engineer drives at real speed outside the regular season. The sideline heats up, the crowd erupts, and the rival realizes this isn't a friendly, it's a high-end lab. At the same time, Harbaugh rests names like Khalil Mack and Derwin James, balancing intensity with prudence. The message is clear. The offensive core needs to feel the fire now, while the veteran defense is preserved for when the count really matters. Broadcast strategy matters too. With NFL Network carrying it nationally, and local radio buzzing in English and Spanish, the fan base grows. It's the Chargers speaking to different audiences, stoking the international flame even before the trip to Brazil. Every call, every breakdown, feeds a narrative that 2025 is a stake-your-claim season. Tactically, the national stage adds pressure. Every mistake becomes tape for the Chiefs, the Cardinals, and the rest rest of the conference, so the staff should keep the playbook vanilla enough to hide secrets, but real enough to test cadence and chemistry. And the Cardinals in this puzzle, they're studying every frame. It's not just preseason, it's a valuable peek at OL sync, receiver timing, and Herbert's cadence in live fire. They'll already be plotting how to mask blitzes in Brazil, based on what he shows now. If the ball is out fast, they'll try to stretch coverage. If it lingers, they'll overload. The chess match starts in August, and for the fans, rocket fuel. Every Herbert snap under the SoFi lights the belief that this team fears nothing, not even a little August exposure to be ready for September. By the end, it won't feel like a friendly, it'll feel like a dress rehearsal. The city breathes football, the stadium turns into a cauldron, and confidence grows. The local rivalry sparks debate, but the echo is one message: we're ready to measure up. When the ball flies, each drive is worth more than the scoreboard. It sets the tone for an entire season. Now, Bolt family, deep breath, because the real show is just getting started. Bolt fam, what a day. We lost Slater and retooled the wall with Alt and Pipkins, while Fleming could become the bridge to stability. We turned the page in the QB room, with Heineke bringing security and a functional blueprint. Herbert asked for live fire and, with preseason snaps, jump-started timing, cadence, and leadership. And SoFi became a national laboratory that raises the stakes, but multiplies confidence for Brazil. Together, that reshapes identity, protect the franchise, simplify Plan B, and cash in the red zone. Now tell me, which piece defines our early surge? Drop a comment, like, share, and subscribe right now.